Hi! In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to mosaic a terracotta pot, a perfect project for outdoor use. If we haven't met yet, welcome to my channel. My name is Marisela and I'm passionate about mosaic art. Here, I share step-by-step tutorials for you to create long-lasting and beautiful mosaics. So if you love handmade crafts or you are looking for a new hobby, this is the right place for you. I have included a complete list of all the materials that I'm using for this project in the description below. And so let's get ready and let's get started. When I first started with mosaics a few years ago, I made my first outdoor table and I was so proud of my work. It looked beautiful and I was thrilled with the result. But I made one big mistake. I used wood as my substrate. Unfortunately, after just 5 years, it started cracking and falling apart because wood isn't ideal for outdoor mosaics. So just keep in mind when you're planning your mosaics. The image you see on the screen is that very table. If you would like to watch the full process of how I made it, check out the video shown here. It was a great learning experience and today I'm sharing how to avoid that mistake by using the right materials for outdoor mosaics. Before applying any of the tessera, it's essential to seal the terracotta pot to ensure long-lasting durability. I'm using a penetrating sealer which is waterproof, UV resistant and protects the pot against abrasion. Apply one coat inside and outside the pot and allow it to dry completely before moving on. Find the sealer I'm using linked in the video description. While the pot is drying, we'll move on to the next step. In this tutorial, I'll be sharing two methods to glue the tesserae onto the pot. The first option is to use thin-set mortar, which is a cement-based adhesive that provides a strong bond, making it ideal for both indoor and outdoor mosaic projects. Since it typically comes in a 50-pound bag, I recommend scooping out a small amount at a time for convenience and store the rest in a dried and cool place. To prepare the thin set, add a small amount of powder to a mixing bowl and then slowly pour in water little by little. I actually really like to use these wash bottles for better control in adding water. It's better to add too little than too much at a time. Mix until you reach a smooth peanut butter-like consistency. Not too thick, not too runny. So after you achieve the consistency that you want, let it rest, or in other words, let it slake for about 10 minutes. These steps allows the water to fully activate the cement particles, improving the strength and workability of the adhesive. So after slaking, give it one final mix, but do not add any more water to it, and then you can proceed to use it. Before applying any tesserae, it's important to map out the design to ensure a balanced composition. I'm dividing the terracotta pot into 4 sections by drawing vertical lines around the pot. This will help guide the placement of the first tiles and keep the design symmetrical. I have also prepared a free template for download available here in the description of the video, which has a section of the design that you can transfer onto the substrate. Just cut it out and repeat the pattern 4 times. For the purpose of this video, I'm placing an old towel underneath the substrate to keep it from shifting. Then I roll up the sides of the towel to create a snug nest for the pot, keeping it stable while I place the tesserae. Further in the tutorial, I will show you another way to hold the pot in place so you can decide what works best for you. Let's move to step 4, gluing the tesserae. For this project, we are using Leaves made in ceramic, glass gems, and glass tiles to create a beautiful texture design. Start with a medium-sized leaf and place it within one of the marked sections. Make sure not to place it too close to the border of the pot. Just leave a small space for the grout to hold all together. Using a pointy spatula or wooden stick, apply a small amount of thin-set mortar to the back of each tile. Then, carefully position each tile in the right spot following the design shown in the video or your own creation. I recommend you to clean the excess thin set as you go to have room for the grout later on and to be able to place other tiles correctly. I am using my tweezers that have silicone ends and therefore they are very easy to clean. You can also use disposable toothpicks if you like. By the way, these ceramic leaves are specifically made for both indoor and outdoor use. Not all ceramic tiles are weather resistant, so make sure to check when purchasing for other projects. If you have leftover thin set at the end of the day, keep in mind that it won't be usable tomorrow. I recommend you to clean all the utensils right away and dispose of any excess product by wiping it up with a paper towel and throwing it in the trash. Never rinse the thin set down the sink. It can harden and clog your pipes. Now let's go over the second adhesive option for this project, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. This is a strong all-weather adhesive that bonds well to various substrates, making it a great alternative to thin set just in case you don't feel like getting a 50-pound bag of product. To make the application easier, instead of using a standard caulking gun that I find very bulky, I transfer the adhesive into a syringe with a wider opening, and then this allows me to have better control and more precision. Now, easily apply a small amount of the Gorilla adhesive to the back of each tile and continue placing them as shown here in the video to complete the design. I also switched to gluing the tesserae while the pot is in a standing position, allowing me to complete the project in one go. Another helpful tip is to use a lazy Susan, which makes it easier to rotate the piece without disrupting the design. Now that you have a clear idea of the process, I'll speed up the video as I finish assembling the mosaic. If the Gorilla adhesive gets on your hands or tesserae, clean it right away by using a Q-tip with alcohol. So, by the way, if you feel like you are learning something from these tutorials, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing and sharing. This will definitely help me to keep creating more fun and inspiring mosaic projects for you. Before we start grouting, I'm taping the inside and the bottom of the terracotta pot to keep them clean and free from the grout. And in the meantime, let's gather all the materials we'll need for this step. Grout, pulse with water, sponge, spoon and spatula, pigment powder to customize the grout, gloves to protect your skin, and because things are about to get messy. Now it's time to mix our grout. I'm adding pigment powder to tint it, and I'm choosing this coffee color for the project. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because this is my first time using this type of colorants. So let's keep going. As you can see, before adding water, the color isn't very noticeable. But as I gradually add water, the shade starts to develop. And just like when we mix the thin set, be careful not to add too much water at once. Go little by little. Okay, so this isn't exactly looking like coffee to me. I was expecting like espresso color, but this looks more like cafe au lait or even terracotta shade, which is kind of funny. But let's roll with it and we'll learn something from this experiment. Also, let the mix rest for about 5 minutes before using it. Now for the fun part, grouting. I'm adding a small amount at a time and working the grout into the gaps between the tiles, making sure every space is completely filled. Take your time with this step to get the best results. For the upper part of the pot, I decided to mix up a green grout to complement the leaves in the design. Let's see how this all comes together. Don't forget to grout the edge of the pot as well. After letting the grout set for 5 to 10 minutes, it's time to clean up. I'm taking the sponge, I dip it in water and squeeze out as much water as possible. I gently wipe off the excess grout from the surface of the tiles and then rinse the sponge often to keep it clean and repeat the process. I continue smoothing everything out with gentle circular motions, and after another 10 minutes I give it a final buff with a dry cloth to bring out the shine. Now just remove the tape and let the grout cure for at least 24 hours. Then we will proceed to apply a last coat of grout sealer, which is the same product we used at the beginning of this process. Okay, so for our final step, and to ensure our mosaic stays protected from moisture and elements, it's important to seal the grout. I am adding a thin coat over the grout lines using the same sealer we applied at the beginning of the project. So these are the steps. Apply a layer of the sealer directly onto the grout, then let it sit for about a minute to absorb. Wipe off any excess with a clean cloth. For extra durability, I'm also adding another coat inside the terracotta pot to keep it fully sealed. This final step helps preserve the mosaic and ensures a long-lasting life. And ta-da! This is it! What do you think? Could you have chosen a different grout color? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. See you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to click that button.